Welcome back to another Celebrity Sweets. I'm Ethan, and chances are you've heard of a rapper by the name of Chance the Rapper. Now, if you're not familiar with Chance the Rapper, you also might know him by his real name, Chancellor Bennett, which, like, having the name Chancellor in your name just sounds cool. Like, I am Chancellor Shimon. Like, that's so cool. You also might know Chance the Rapper from his iconic, like, letter 3 hat. You might know him from his number 3 hat that he wears, which became popular during like the coloring book era. Like, that's one of his albums. I don't know if there was a coloring book era, like the 50s, 60s, I don't know. And I just wonder, like, how many of these hats does he have? Like, baseball hats with number 3s on them. I was gonna say letter again. With number 3s, like, there's gotta be so many, because he's been spotted with so many different colors. Now, Chance the Rapper has also won 3 Grammy Awards, which is coincidental. I don't know. One for Best New Artist, one for Best Rap Album, and the other for Best Rap Performance, which is like a huge honor, but especially for him when he has not signed to like any record label or anything. Like, this is all just by himself, and like a lot of his things you can like download for free. So today we are going to celebrate all things Chance the Rapper and bake up a chocolate cake, and we're going to decorate and shape this cake to look like his iconic number 3 hat. The ingredients for this recipe are 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 cups of granulated sugar, 1 cup or 2 sticks of unsalted butter, 1 cup of whole milk, 4 large eggs, 3/4 cup of cocoa powder, 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. The first thing we want to do is, in a small bowl, whisk together all of our dry ingredients. This will be your all-purpose flour, cocoa powder, baking powder, and salt. I set our dry ingredients off to the side, and now we can work on our wet ingredients. We're going to begin by creaming together our butter and sugar using a hand mixer, which Lil Peep, different rapper. Which, check out the new hand mixer that I just got. It's pink, Celebrity Sweets pink. It's actually guava glaze, but it pops. Simply combine your butter and sugar. Oh, and this like has this like locking feature. Like, you can like lock it. Let's talk about needing security. Like, I might not need security, but my mixer has it. And using your hand mixer, mix it up for about 1 to 2 minutes or until light and fluffy. When you've mixed together your butter and sugar, it's always good to make sure that the sides of your bowl are scraped down. I just like to use a rubber spatula to scrape down the side of the bowl to make sure that everything is incorporated, that everything's good. Now, this is one of my favorite combinations. And I'm trying to think of my favorite Chance the Rapper song. I know favorite song is a Chance the Rapper song, but like, to be honest, I don't know all the Chance the Rapper songs, and I don't remember all the names of the Chance the Rapper songs, so we're just gonna like not pick one, because there are so many of them that are good too. But let me know your favorite Chance the Rapper song in the comments below. Next, we can add in our eggs one at a time, beating after each addition. After you've beaten in your eggs, now we can add in our vanilla extract, which vanilla extract smells so good. If you ever try it though, it does not taste good, and don't go sniffing your vanilla extract. Like, some people are weird. Add in the vanilla extract and mix it up with your hand mixer. Oh, we've got both our wet and dry ingredients both separately mixed, and now all we got to do is mix those together. We're gonna start by adding in half of our dry, mix it up, add in all of your milk, mix it up, and the last half of your dry, and mix it up. We've prepared our chocolate cake batter, and we can begin to place them into their pans. To make this hat shape, we're going to need 2 different sizes of cake pans. One is going to be a half sphere, and the other will be a round cake pan. I'm just going to be using an 8-inch round. I've greased these and also placed a bit of parchment paper on the bottom to make sure it doesn't stick. And now divide your batter evenly between the 2. We've filled and prepared both of our cake pans, and now we can pop them into the oven at 350 degrees for about 40 to 45 minutes. I took our cakes out of the oven and gave them plenty of time to cool down. You definitely want to work with a cool cake. I went ahead and also divided the cake into a bunch of layers. For our 8-inch round, I divided it into 2, and for our round sphere cake, I actually divided it into 3, with one of the layers being like 1/4 of an inch thick, which, I mean, it's fine. Before we fill and stack our cake though, we do want to drizzle on some simple syrup. This is just equal parts water and sugar. It's kind of just like a cake juice. That's gonna help keep our cake nice and moist. Give the cakes a nice shower of simple syrup. and allow the syrup to soak in. You know, there's like acid rap. Well, this is like acid rain. I went ahead and restacked our cake layers, and right now it kind of just looks like a UFO or something weird. Definitely not a hat. So now we can get to carving this. I'm gonna be using a small serrated knife, and I'm kind of just gonna do my thing. And using our sphere cake as a guide, carve down and give it that kind of hat shape. It's kind of just like a dome. When you're hatty? What kind of word is that? When you're happy with your hat-shaped cake, now we can start to fill and stack it. We're going to remove each individual layer, and to fill this cake I've got some vanilla buttercream frosting, which if you'd like this recipe you can click right up here. And to make this even more chocolatey, I've got some chocolate ganache, which we also made on a Baking Basics. I'll put that up here and both of those in the description below. And when frosting and decorating cakes, I like to use some offset, that's a different wrapper too. There's just so many wrappers in this. Spatulas in large and small. Start by taking the bottom layer of your cake and piping a border using your buttercream frosting. When you've piped the border, then add in your chocolate ganache, and using your offset spatula, smooth out the layers. Repeat this process until you reach the top. When you've filled and stacked your cake, now I want to place it into the refrigerator for about 10 to 15 minutes just to allow it to set up and harden. We always like to work with a cool cake. I mean, this will be a cool cake too, but like a cool temperature-wise cake. I've taken our cake out of the fridge and we can begin to work on our crumb coat. This is just a thin layer of buttercream frosting that goes around the entire cake to trap in all those crumbs. I've got some more buttercream frosting here and a small offset spatula, and I'm just gonna frost the entire cake. After your crumb coat on your cake has set, now we can do our final coat. This is going to be the nice pretty layer on the outside, a lot thicker than our crumb coat. Take more buttercream frosting and your offset spatula and spread it around the cake until you have a nice even layer. We've completely iced our cake, and now for the last time, we want to pop it back into the fridge to allow this layer to set, again for another 10 to 15 minutes. But this time we can work on our fondant details while we're waiting. Now all the details we're going to make for this cake are out of fondant, and I've showed you guys how to make this fondant right here. Again, it'll be up here if you'd like to check that out. However, for the black fondant, I actually did buy it. I never make black fondant because it just takes too much food coloring to get it a nice black, and then it's still like dark gray. Oh, and we're going for the black Chance the Rapper hat with the white number 3. Now the great thing about these fondant details is you can make them like a day, 2 days, 10 days in advance. To make these fondant details though, I did use some templates. I cut this kind of like, what is this shape? Arched shape to be the brim of our hat. And I let the fondant sit overnight to allow it to harden. And for the number 3, I also made a template. It's not your average sleeve because it's got this like line sliced out the bottom. But I've got some white fondant here, and I'm going to take a small paring knife and cut out that number 3. It's finally time to decorate this cake. We've got our cake right here, and I've rolled out some more black fondant, and I'm just going to carefully drape this over our cake and taking that small paring knife, trim around the edges. We've covered our cake in the black fondant, and now hats aren't like perfectly smooth. So we're actually going to take I just got a paper towel here, and I'm just going to press this into our fondant to give it some more texture. We've textured our cake, and now I just want to add on more details just so you know that it's like a hat. Hats have like this button on the top. I don't really know if it's a purpose for anything, but I've got some more black fondant here, and I'm just going to roll it into a little circular disc. Oh, guess we're going to roll another one and place it on the top of our cake. And I've also got this fondant decorating tool, which is like some jaggedy edges, and I'm going to use this as like stitching because like the hats have like stitching that comes down and stitches them together. So I'm just going to take this tool and make a bunch of lines starting from the top of our button to the bottom of our cake. I went ahead and took our cake off of its like turntable, like mixtape, and placed it onto a cake stand. This is for like the final presentation. And now we can add on those last 2 final fondant details that we made. The first being the brim of the hat, but the end of the brim up to the front of the hat, because see, that would be a weird look for a hat. Trim away a little fondant at a time until the brim and the hat are flush. We've attached our brim to the front of the hat, and it does look like a hat right now. Not Chance the Rapper's because we haven't added on the 3. Now this hat though does look a little bland. It looks a little matte, and I want to make it look a little glossy, elevated up a little bit. So I've got some clear food grade alcohol right here. This is just a clear vanilla extract. And I've got a paintbrush, and I'm just going to paint this around the entire cake to give it a nice glossy finish. Our hat cake looks amazing. Like, I would wear this right now. It's glossy, smooth, and it looks like a hat. Like, this is cake, people. Now we can add on our last detail, the number 3. I've got some clear piping gel over here to help us attach it to the cake. Piping gel is just like another form of glue. However, if you don't have this, no problem. You can use water, or the cake is a little sticky from our vanilla extract. It should stick just like that. I gotta make sure which way it goes. So it goes this way, right? I'm gonna spread a little bit of clear piping gel on the back of our Fondant 3 and attach it to the cake. And here we had it, our Chance the Rapper inspired hat cake that we made today. This thing is so cool. Like, I don't want to cut into it, but yet again, I want to see all the work that we put into this. So let's cut into this. This should do. And these little, like, stitches act as, like, little places to cut. Moment of truth. Look at that. This cake looks so amazing. I've got to try some. The chocolate ganache really sets the bar. Okay. And it's so cool looking. I can't get over this. If you happen to make this, please share it with me on Instagram or Twitter, which is kind of a big task to make, but if you do it, I want to see it. And don't forget to share this video with someone who likes Chance the Rapper, chocolate cakes, novelty cakes, hats, or if you know Chance the Rapper, share this video with him too. And until next time, savor life and make it sweet. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, let me know by hitting the like button down below. And while you're at it, subscribe. You can do that by clicking this cute little donut right here. If you're looking for more content, up here's my latest video, and down here's what YouTube thinks you should watch. That's all for today. I will see you guys in the next video.